Hello everybody, it's LE Diecast, and we're going to do a top 25. This is the diorama we're going to use. I might have it too bright there on one side, but we're not using the light box with this. I took that down, so anyways, let's go dig up 25 cars from one of the bins. We'll see what we get, and we'll be right back. So we're just going to head on over here. The cars live right by the turtle cage over there. So we've got this bin. This is one of them. This is, by the way, not the original bin. I can't get the lid off. There we go. So there we go. Those are, it's full. Okay, we're back. We'll go through these. I think there's actually 26 of these. I miscounted, but that's okay. And we'll go through them from my least favorite to my favorite. We'll see what we pulled out of the box. I don't have any idea what that bin actually was. It looks like we got more than an average amount of Matchbox cars, which tells me one of my Matchbox bins probably got mixed together with Hot Wheels somewhere in the move. So all the bins I've got are a bit mixed together, so they're not exactly organized, but this one looks like it's full of a lot of newer and older Matchboxes and some random Hot Wheels. So let's get started. Our first one up here is the Desert Thunder, and that is that guy right there. Doesn't do too much for me. It's got some neat features. It's got the tools in the top. It's from digital development, and I'm wondering if maybe that isn't the company that does the toolings for Matchbox. It's kind of a strange name otherwise, but anyways, not enough to get it out of the bottom, so that is the least favorite. Moving on, we've got the Justice League Batmobile. This one over the years has scored much better. I think I'm just getting tired of it. This one is a Hot Wheels. It does have a moving turret on top. It barely moves, but you can see it. This one is the kind of flat gray version. There's the bottom. But the Justice League Batmobile. Next up is the Snow Groomer, which, well, I guess it could fit in that scene. Probably fits better than some of the other ones. This one a Matchbox, an older Matchbox, I believe. I'll show you the bottom in a second. This back part opens up, always a neat piece of this casting. This one with a gold windshield. I am guessing by that base that that's an older model, but it is in very good shape, brand new shape. Next up, another Matchbox. This one is a Mercedes-Benz. I think that's an SL55. Hard to read the bottom. And its windshield not too bent out of shape. These windshields without the support always get crushed the way that I store them. This one in really good shape. This is one of the newer models. It's got some really nice details on the front, but didn't score too high. Next up, we've got a PT Cruiser convertible, also a Matchbox. Judging by those wheels, that is a older model, I'm guessing. It's got some details on it, if I can get it to focus there. So some detailing on the side. Got a 72 on the side. PT Cruiser. Next to Hot Wheels, this is the Corvette Grand Sport Roadster. This one is very recent. Showed up. You know what? It's got the 2 on it. I bet this I want to say this one's from the main line. I was going to say that's a mystery car because they usually got the numbers on it, but I don't think that has anything to do with it. That one's a main line. I think this was out a few cases ago as of the shooting of this video. Not too old. Next is a tuk-tuk. Fits right into that scene, I guess. This one, Matchbox. This one came out about a year ago. And was real popular when it came out. It was kind of hard to find. I think it's just because it's so different. It does have some really neat little details in there, if I can get the light to shine in. But it's got little handlebars. Seen those handlebars used in customs. Little tuk-tuk. Next up's another Matchbox. This one is a 97 Chevy Tahoe. This one's been played with, so this one came in a lot somewhere that I picked up. Again, with, well, those wheels don't necessarily make it old, I guess, anymore. They have been reusing those. But you can see from the paint on those wheels, this guy's been played with. Chevy Tahoe. Next on our list, this one might have scored higher for some folks. That's the Volkswagen Golf GT, I believe that's GTI. Let me double check. That one is GTI, I believe. GTI or GT1? Can't read it. And that one's got the Momo decorations on it. This one, again, not too old. This one was out about 6 months ago from when we're shooting this video. Another Matchbox is next, a pickup truck. This is the Chevy Silverado SS. This is a really heavy casting. It's metal-based plastic. Is that plastic? Yeah, plastic body, but or metal body, plastic base. But for some reason, it's must be really thick because it's pretty heavy. This one, pretty neat. Probably would score higher on a lot of folks, but I did not score it that high. It's got a lot of nice details on it. Another Matchbox is next. This one, the Jeep Grand Cherokee. And if I remember right, this was part of the Jeep mini-series of cars that Matchbox put out. There was 6 or 8 Jeeps in this series. This one has this cool motorboat on it. I've saved a couple of these over the years thinking I would use them in dioramas, but haven't yet. I think they'd look pretty good sitting on the water. Pretty detailed if you painted that up. Alright. Next up, this one would have scored a lot higher. It's the Land Rover 90. That one would have scored higher, except it doesn't have an interior. If it does, I'm not seeing it. And I think this was from, I want to say, the Land Rover series. This one's got Payne & Sons on the side of it, construction. But not really any interior on that one that I can see. Another Matchbox, this one an older Matchbox, and this one is the Truck Camper. And I just pushed the door in, there you go, close the door on it. This one a fun one, it does have this moving door on it, so you can play with it. It does have an interior, hard to see. I've taken these apart. The interior is actually very detailed. You can see some parts of it in there. But it's more detailed considering you can't really see it. There aren't a lot of large windows in this. The other side, you can see no large windows. So that one a fun one. Next up, I did not take this one out of the bag. Give me a second. We store them in these little bags so they don't get all chewed up. This one is a Model A Ford. And it just started raining really hard. I don't know if you can hear that or not over the video, but it just started pouring out of nowhere. Yeah, Model A Ford. Matchbox made a bajillion different versions of these. Some people just collect this particular casting. This one of the more recent versions of this. I'm not sure how old this guy is, but Not as old as most of them that you see with this. They use that casting for a lot of sports teams, a lot of promotions, a whole lot of promotions. There's probably well over 100 versions of that casting out here. This one I had rated higher, and then when I got to the end, I dropped it pretty far down. It's the Super GT, and it's an odd little model, but this guy looks like he missed his time in history. It looks almost like a super fast model, but it is not. I don't think. It's older, judging by those wheels. I know it's older. And here's the bottom. It's been played with, obviously. But there's really no interior there to speak of. And it's very light. It's probably during that era in the early 90s, if I had to guess, judging by those wheels, where Matchbox just had some fantastic castings and just some real duds. They were all mixed together for a while the company was changing ownership, and so they had some really cool stuff and some not so cool stuff for many years. Next up, 49 Volkswagen Beetle pickup. I have picked this one up every time it's come out. Mixed feelings about it. I don't like the half and half bed. You could paint that and make it look really nice. But I do like that they made the Beetle pickup. Looks like it's supposed to have a little siren on it. I guess it's, what's it read? It's Hot Wheels Tire Shop. El Segundo, that is where Hot Wheels or Mattel is located, very near to the LAX airport. Are we in our top 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think this is number 10. And that is the 70 Ford Escort RS 1600. This one, a popular model when it came out. I could see why. It's got a lot of fun details. A little rally car. Get a close-up of all the names that are on it there. But only made it as far as 10 on my list. Number 9, I believe, yep, number 9, and that is this funny little guy. Not an old Matchbox, I don't believe. This one relatively new, and that is the '09 International Star. This one probably came out last year as of the shooting of this video. It looks like an older Matchbox. It's certainly got the styling you would expect from some of the old super fast cars, but no, that one's relatively new. You can see the details on it. What's it say there? It's got their drivers wanted. It's got Matchbox's website on it. Same thing on this side. Can we read what that says? It probably doesn't mean anything. So I like that one. It reminds me of the older Matchboxes. Next up, a few Hot Wheels in a row here. No, I'll take that back. It's a Matchbox. I thought this was a Hot Wheels. This one is the Lotus 2008 in a flat black. Looks like that would be a Hot Wheels casting, but that is a Matchbox. You can tell by those wheels. I do like those wheels better than most of the wheels that Hot Wheels use. I do pick up the Matchbox cars that I like. At this point, it's probably about 30% Matchboxes, the rest Hot Wheels. But I do pick up the Matchbox I like. I think they're a bit hit and miss, same as the Hot Wheels. Next up, we've got this is the Chevelle, I want to say it's a Chevelle. Yeah, Chevelle wagon. 70 Chevelle wagon. Really like this one. Pick it up every time it comes out. And I like this one with the flames, of course. Very much right up my alley. Good enough for number 7 on our list. Matchboxes next. Like I said, we had a lot of Matchboxes. That's the Ford F100. Really like the way that looks in this diorama, especially. It's got the, is that MBX? I think that's MBX. Yep, MBX City Store. Open all year. It's truck number 11. Really like that one. the center. That wasn't good enough for number 6. Number 5. These last ones were a bit hard for me to pick. That is the AMG Mercedes C-Class. A cool little car, again from Matchbox. Haven't seen these wheels in a really long time, or those rims. This one, really like it. It's been played with. It's in sort of rough shape, as these cars go. I think we've seen a couple of these over the years. But that one, good enough to be number 5. Number 4, I think this one may be the most divisive of my picks, and that is, what's this little guy called? It's a Matchbox, and it is the Malibu Marauder, which is probably a fantasy car, judging by the name. Maybe not. It's got some cool little, what are those, skim boards or wake boards in the back. It's got a neat interior. It's kind of a dark red. I like how the rims are the molded interior on this. I really like this one. I remember picking it up. And for a while, all Matchbox cars really looked like this. They were all just off-road versions that all looked pretty much the same. But this one only came out, I want to say, this year. Number 3, this one, if it was a little bit older, probably would have been number 1. And that is a Weasel, one of my favorite super fast models. This one, much newer than the super fast models. You can see this one doesn't even have super fast on the base. And this one came in I want to say a kit, or it was with some other vehicles, because I believe there's a Jeep and something else. I think there were 3 cars with the same decoration on it. This one, not easy to find, if it's the one I think it is. That little Weasel, the top moves, and its little gun has not been bent yet. Hard to find these where the guns aren't bent or broken off. Number 2 is the Volkswagen T2 pickup, a Hot Wheels. This is the last of our Hot Wheels. 52 there on the top. And I am trying to remember what the 52 was. Was that the 52nd anniversary? I don't think so. 15. Don't remember. I don't think that's the anniversary. We haven't gotten to that anniversary yet. And it does have the Hot Wheels symbol on the side. I use a lot of these in my customs. It's one of the cars that shows up the most because you can chop this car up and do a lot of fun things with it. Model probably has 5 or 6 variations by now. One of the newer castings. And lastly, our number 1 for this video is, it's a Matchbox. It's a super fast. That's probably why it got up that high for me. And it's the Datsun. I want to say it's a 126. I can't read it. I believe that's the 126X. This one is the version without the flames. This version came in a couple colors. There was a kind of a gold and green version. There's a version that has painted flames on it. I believe this is the version that didn't have the painted flames on it, although sometimes the flames get scraped off, but I don't see any leftover residue from the flames. And if this is the solid yellow model, it's probably came out in 71, right around there. And I believe this color stuck around for a year or two, so it could be 72, 71, somewhere right around there. So it is an old car, old super fast. That one is going to go in my super fast collection. It does have an opening back with a very detailed back. A lot of times this trunk is missing, and because this guy, when he slides, he takes all the brunt right along this piece here, so a lot of times this top piece here is all scraped up. This one in pretty good shape, rolls great. That is our number 1 car for this video. So thanks everybody for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.